Wife tried to kick me out for her rich lover. I became his boss, fired him, and made him evict her from their apartment. Her voice was calm, too calm. Maybe it's better if you leave for a while, she said. The words fell into the room like broken glass. I stared at her, not the sentence, her delivery, detached, as if she'd rehearsed it. Leave? My house, my name on the lease, my hands that built the life she was standing in. Yet she spoke as if I were the intruder, the outsider who had overstayed his welcome. Behind her, her phone buzzed. She tilted it down, too quick, too careful. I caught a glimpse, a name I didn't recognize, just an initial and a last name. Formal, businesslike, the kind of disguise only lovers use when they think they're clever. She didn't flinch when I saw it. That was the tell. Indifference, the kind of indifference born from having already moved on. I didn't argue, I didn't demand, I simply nodded, and in that nod, I buried the man she thought she could discard. The next morning, she made coffee. No eye contact, no smile. A courtesy more than a gesture. Her phone never left her hand. She typed with her back slightly turned. Subtle but deliberate. Her laugh, once reserved for me, now whispered against glass. The distance wasn't sudden. It had been seeping in like water through cracks. Canceled dinners, late nights at work, perfume that lingered even when she swore she hadn't gone anywhere. I began to notice small edits in her sentences. We had become I. My name rarely surfaced in her stories. I had become an accessory, a placeholder. Then, the slip. She called me by another name, just once, soft, like an accident. She froze when she realized it. Her hand trembled, her face paled, but I pretended not to notice. Inside, something shattered, not loudly, quietly, like glass cracking under slow pressure. I didn't ask, I didn't confront, not yet, because truth, once seen, doesn't need to be demanded. It waits, patient, merciless. I began with patterns, schedules, calls, the way she showered before leaving but never after returning. Her bank statements, small withdrawals near a high-rise I had no reason to connect to her, until I did. I drove past it one night, lights on in the top corner apartment, a silhouette on the balcony, tall, male, my wife stepping out to join him. She leaned against him as if gravity itself pulled her there. I didn't stop the car. I didn't honk. I didn't rage. I memorized the number of the apartment. I memorized the shape of the man's body against hers. Later, I traced him. A name attached to that building. A career. A man with money. Not much, enough to impress her, but not enough to impress me. I watched, quietly. Every lie she spun, I let her weave tighter. I became her silence, her shadow, her study in arrogance. Because what she didn't know, what she couldn't know, was that fate had already begun to bend in my favor. The man she clung to was about to work for me. His resume slid across my desk 3 weeks later. I didn't need to read it. The photo attached was enough. The jawline I had memorized from a balcony. I signed the papers myself, hired him without hesitation. Let him believe luck had smiled on him. The first meeting was intoxicating. He shook my hand, oblivious. My wife's lover standing before me, thanking me for the opportunity. I said nothing. I only steadied his eyes. Greedy, desperate, the kind of eyes that take what doesn't belong to them. At home, she was radiant, suddenly affectionate, suddenly attentive, as if guilt had turned her body into a bargaining chip. I let her. I let her cook, kiss, pretend. The trap was already set. The day arrived quietly, a performance review. His mistakes laid out in neat lines, numbers falsified, reports delayed. He stammered, defended, pleaded. I remained silent until his excuses collapsed under their own weight. "You're done here," I said. My voice was steady, My decision absolute. The shock in his face wasn't professional. It was personal. He knew. He knew I knew. I leaned forward. Pack your things. Today. He left pale, defeated. But I wasn't finished. A week later, I received the call I had anticipated. He couldn't afford the apartment. Eviction notice sent. My wife's name was on the lease as secondary. She was forced out with him. When she arrived at my door, suitcase in hand, tears threatening to spill, I opened the door only wide enough for her to see my face. "I thought you wanted me gone," I said, and I closed the door. The silence afterward was intoxicating. No arguments, no apologies, no bargaining, just the echo of her absence. I didn't miss her. I missed the illusion of her, the version of her I had once believed in. That version had died long before I buried the relationship. Control isn't about rage. It's about patience, waiting until the knife doesn't just cut, it twists. Now she walks a world she chose, stripped of the comfort she abandoned. He walks unemployed, powerless, resentful. And I walk free. I don't hate her. I don't love her. I simply don't need her. That is the cruelest revenge of all. She tried to erase me, but in the end, I erased her.